What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the My Player Career Mode. A much shorter episode today. There is a reason for that. We'll get into that in just a moment. But I want to say quickly, the vote we had in the last episode to decide whether or not Ben was going to go over to PSG was one of the closest votes I have done on this channel to date. There was over 600 of you people voted, and it was so close between the two. Staying with Man United or going to PSG. So we are going to have another vote today. The reason being is I'll go into that in just a moment. But as I show you the vote results here, as I said, it was just unbelievably close. PSG with 344 of the votes, but Man United with 306. There was 6% in it, and that is just way too close. And whatever I decide to do, I don't want to annoy people. I don't want to upset anybody, but at some stage there will be a decision be made about what Ben's future does, which will upset a few. So hopefully you understand that I don't do it to wind you guys up or anything like that. The vote that wins is the vote that is final. But we are going to have another vote. The reason being is because I decided, you know what, we do have a little bit of time before we have to make our decision on that PSG result. That time would include games against Huddersfield and the second leg of the Carabao Cup against Chelsea, so we'll be able to see exactly what's going to happen. Now, we're going to take a look at those two games, see what kind of result Manchester United got, and then I want you guys to make another decision. This time around, I am going to add another option. So the options will be to go to PSG, or it will be to stay at Manchester United till the end of the season and then to try and decide where we go with Ben after that. Because the problem that we got is, as I said last episode, if we go to PSG now, there's going to be the cup tie. You won't be able to play in the Champions League, so he won't win a Champions League winners medal even if PSG win it. He's also on course at the moment to do the quad here at Manchester United still in the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and the Premier League and the Champions League, of course. So there is still that as well. So I want you guys to make the decision based on what we currently are in, not on what you would like to see Ben do in the future. So here is the options for you guys. You can vote again. It'll be in the description and on the top comments. I know I'm going to have to make a decision with whichever one wins, and there will be people upset about it, but I apologise in advance for that. Regardless, we are going to take a look to see if Manchester United will make it through to a Carabao Cup final and see if they can do that by beating Chelsea or even drawing against Chelsea after the first leg later on. But we got into game one against Huddersfield just to see what was going to happen. Potentially one of the last games that Ben will play for this Man United side. And they took the lead inside 36 minutes. Wilson and Ben putting the pressure on the back line. And I could tell why Huddersfield were in 20th place going into the game. Bottom of the league, struggling at the moment to really kind of propel themselves. And they just didn't defend very well at all. We also bumped up the goalkeeper to 75 on the CPU side as well. So to make it that little bit harder for Ben to try and score. And the rest of the team for that matter. So yeah, very, very interesting defending, let's call it, from Huddersfield Town. And that took the lead for Man United, and it summed up how the episode was going to go for us, I think. So, at Old Trafford, as we kicked off the second half, Ben again on the ball, driving forward. We see it so many times when he's running at defenders. They hate this situation to be in. Lovely play to get into a shooting position. Ends up taking the strike on. It comes back off the woodwork. And unfortunately, United didn't take a 2-goal lead. The shot in the rebound went over the top of the crossbar, and it wasn't 2-0. At that point, Wilson came off, Lukaku came on. 12 minutes remaining of normal time. Ben again on the ball, finds a nice pass out to Gelson Martins on this right-hand side. He runs a really good run, gets the nice ball to the near post where Ben is. He touches it before the goalkeeper, comes back off the post, and the substitute, Romelu Lukaku, gives the home side the second goal of the afternoon. And to explain as well why I wanted to do the vote again, I did think to myself when I looked back at the vote and saw how many votes were coming in that people who voted maybe to go to PSG maybe wanted to see whether or not Man United were going to go through to a final of the Carabao Cup. Maybe if they did, that might swing a couple of results. So with it being as close as it was, I decided we'd just do a revote on the episode today, then make the decision based on that. So hopefully you guys understand that that's the reason why. I would just instantly go to PSG with the fact of that winning. But the fact that it is so close, maybe a few people might have decided to choose differently if United have made it through to a Carabao Cup final. So we're going to see if that's going to change the vote by anyways. And of course, if not, we'll just go to PSG because we can wait for 2 games until we have to give the decision over to the French club. But Ben got on the score sheet again. This time around, it was from the edge of the area and it was an absolute worldie. Striking his left-footed shot into the top corner and it made it 3-0 in this game. Huddersfield well beaten at this point. They look like they're heading down to the Championship, and it is what it is. Sometimes, guys, unfortunately, teams end up with this situation where they just can't perform, and it seems like Huddersfield are having that in this particular season. They're doing pretty okay in real life in terms of trying to avoid the relegation, but unfortunately, what we now 6 seasons in, looks like they're going back down to the championship. Ben, unbelievable goal, 14th goal of his campaign as well. Very, very good return indeed. So that ended off game 1, and after that we would go into game 2, where it will be that game against Chelsea, the second leg of the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. 2-1 aggregate lead so far for Manchester United. We'll see how it's going to pan out and see if they do in fact make it through to another Carabao Cup final. And that's kind of the other bit as well. You know, if Ben leaves halfway through the season, I never like transferring in January. I really dislike it because all you've worked for in the first 6 months, it's like, yeah, you're kind of left in a situation where, you know, you've then got to put all that back to the ground. And they're on course for a quad that I just don't know if now would be the right time to leave. Of course, if it wins the vote again and PSG wins it again, then that is the way we'll go. But yeah, you know, looking at this, we might be through to a Carabao Cup final, so I want to see if that is the case before we make the decision fundamentally. I should have done it last episode. What I should have done was play these 2 games, play the semi-final, and then see what the real vote was. I realised I made that mistake after I made the episode, but hey, we're human, we learn from our mistakes. So that's what I should have done last episode and then gave you the vote based on the decision, knowing we were through to a Carabao Cup final. That's what I should have done. Or not through to a Carabao Cup final for that matter. So yeah, and that's my mistake, so I apologise for that. But anyways, we'll do it again. So 60 minutes into this game, as I said, we were just looking at this game thinking United have just got to defend the lead that they already got in leg 1. Ben's first shot of the game coming in the 60th minute, but then Chelsea got themselves a few opportunities. Hazard on the right-hand side forces De Gea into a save. Very decent one at that as well. Then from the corner, we tried to make a change here. I'm not convinced with changes when you're trying to defend a corner. It doesn't always work out, but Hazard on the matter ends up whipping this one in. It comes towards Morata, who hits the woodwork from, well, yards away, and very nearly got Chelsea back on level terms on aggregate. That would have been some finish as well if it was. Last 10 minutes of the game, we found Ben in a pocket of space down the left-hand side. He's got pace, and he's got the pace to beat his man as well as he runs towards the byline, cuts it to Romelu Lukaku. The Belgian gets his shot away, but this time Courtois makes a fantastic save to deny him. He gets a second chance at it and should have scored to send United through, certainly to a Carabao Cup final. However, he could only put his effort wide of the post. Very disappointing finish from the big Belgian, but in the end, it ultimately did not matter. 90 minutes on the clock, a 0-0 draw here at Old Trafford, enough to send Manchester United through to another Carabao Cup final for Ben, and their quad is still alive. So now, guys, the vote is over to you. I apologise, as I said, for the mistake. I should have played these 2 games out before giving you the vote so you would know whether or not Ben was through to an Carabao Cup final. So yeah, again, similar way to the last episode, cast your vote by clicking on the link in the description or on the comment that I leave below. Hopefully you understand why I'm doing a revote on this one with it being as close as it is. And I might add the option as well because, of course, if we wait and see and don't go to PSG, there might become another offer from like Bayern or something like that maybe would be an opportunity. But obviously the last thing I want is to upset anybody. I don't want to have people feeling like, you know, I'm kind of annoying or frustrating or upsetting them anyway. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to give you guys videos and try and make it as fair on everybody as possible. So whatever happens, please bear in mind, guys, that if you voted for one side that doesn't win, I haven't done it to upset anybody. I've literally done it because I have to go with the majority. So yeah, as you can see, I'm going through the calendar, taking a look at the games that Man United still have to play. They're on course, as I said, to win the Prem. They're on course to win the Carabao Cup at the moment. In the final, they've either got Reading or Ipswich. So, you know, 2 sides that they should, in theory, beat. The FA Cup, they're still in the competition as well. They have Villarreal in the Champions League. So this is what I'm talking about. Man United's season at the moment is looking very, very good for them. So it depends. Do we want to give all this up, move over to PSG, pretty much win a guaranteed Ligue title, but not be able to play in the Champions League, being cup tied? You know, we won't be able to feature in that competition, even if PSG win it. And also, as well, we don't know exactly how PSG are getting on within their own cup. So a little bit of uncertainty as to what's going on. But anyways, cast your vote again, guys, and I will see you all, hopefully, with the next episode of this. Maybe tomorrow, if not certainly the day after that. Make sure you vote. We don't want it to go unnoticed. Thank you for all of your support, as always. Smash the like button if you did enjoy it, and I will see you all again very, very soon. Adios.